Yeah. Okay. It looks like we are live. I
All
hope.
right.
Number 10. It feels like we should be more, but we've had a couple weekends off.
Hey,
Had a
busy,
couple weekends. We're busy. We're busy. It
busy,
shows.
working hard.
Man. And then some. You
Uh-huh.
more than I. We've both been keeping busy. I hope everybody's had a good weekend. It was kind of rainy here. We had a small tornado hit about 10 miles from here Wednesday. I
Oh
did,
shit.
yeah, yeah. Louisiana, you can have rain, tornadoes, hurricanes, you name it. So little hurricane in town tore up a gas station, tore up some homes. It was about 10 miles away. We really didn't get anything, just some wind. But
Crazy.
it's been a rainy, wet year here in Louisiana.
This last couple of days have been super hot, super humid in Michigan. Well, super hot for us. Super humid though.
Super humid for you guys. So
Yeah.
probably like parched for me.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear. I have a fan going on in the background. You hear a little hum. Yeah.
Yep.
That's my fan blowing on the air conditioner to actually keep it cool in the little shop. So
Yeah, right
don't.
behind me here, I have an air conditioner that comes right over top of my curtain here and kind of drops down on me.
Oh, you're
But
fancy like that.
when because this, in the shop, we don't have any AC. So the mini
Oh,
split,
you piped it in?
it's a mini split. So it
Okay.
runs the whole for heat and air.
I mean, let's be honest. Without a decent like climate control, I wouldn't be able to do what I do here in Louisiana without. I would be in trouble.
Oh, it'd be awful here too. I mean, in the winter, like in Michigan, when it's -40 and you're trying to do Cerakote and it's like the heat is on like crazy and you're barely running 60 degrees. It's still super cold.
And you're still pushing it just
Yeah.
because.
Yeah, Cerakote looking like molasses.
Yeah. Oh, I can tell you some horror stories about on the flight line, having to do a little patch job on an aircraft that's got to fly out, and it's raining, and they want us to build a tent. It's raining, and it's like almost freezing. It's like, you guys, paint doesn't work like this. No, we gotta get this done. It's gotta fly. It's like, well, fly without this little marking. You'd be fine. But anyway, I mean, it's aviation. Of course, it seems like the standards are kind of low because they've been falling out of the sky here lately. So,
hey, I mean, when you left the industry, and all of a sudden, all the shit's just falling apart.
Well, maybe so. Before we get too deep into it, the industry the gun industry did lose one of the pioneers.
Yeah.
Mike, is it Seguin? I've seen it online.
Be honest with you, I don't know. I just call him Mike.
Well, I never actually dealt with him directly in all of my time around and all the different Cerakote jobs that I've had done. I never had a chance to deal with him directly, but I mean, when Cerakote themselves share something about you, it goes to show just the impact that he had.
For better for worse, the dude was the absolute pioneer of what is modern day Cerakote, like the artistic portion of what Cerakote is and what can be done with it is because of him, and others like him. But I will say that Mike was an out of the box thinker. My mentor, his name is Steve Franks. They both came. Mike and Steve came from different backgrounds, but both had the same kind of philosophy about the artistic side of things. And Cerakote is the medium in which Mike, he just excelled so many ways. Like, he just pioneered so much, especially like everybody knows that Boba Fett gun. Everybody.
Oh yeah. I still remember. Yeah, I still remember that one. That one, I think, went all over social media.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, SLR still has that in their booth at SHOT Show every year.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
I mean, it's a testament. He and he was good for the industry,
Yes.
for sure. Brought a lot of people in. The turned Instagram into a much more fun part of the firearms community than most people. Everybody was just spray painting stuff, and that's all well and good, but
Yeah.
Cerakote takes it to another level, and there's a whole lot of benefit and stuff to that. Yeah, it was, RIP, man. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. It goes to show you that no matter who you are, there's no guarantee of how long you've got to be here. So it pushed me, it got me thinking about what I'm doing and
Yep.
just to make sure that every day, one, not to drive my cars, and number two,
Yours don't run anyway.
right now, no, again, up all on the lift. Just to push and make every day count.
Yeah.
And try to make my mark. Not that I plan on that's my thing, but just to make my mark where I'm supposed to.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the best way to do it is just what you're doing, do it well, take
Yes.
pride in it. What we do, whether it be industry changing or whatever, it's important work to some people, obviously.
Yes. Yes.
And it's very important to you, to our families, and
Yes.
everybody who's involved in that process too. And there's and Mike did this well when it came to balancing work and life. I know that he worked a shit ton,
Mhm.
but I also know that he spent a lot of time with his wife Dana. He spent a lot of time with even his crew outside of the shop, doing a lot of fun shit, and spent a lot of time mentoring some of them,
Oh, wow.
and doing a lot of really, really cool stuff. He was a cancer survivor. And there was just a whole lot that was really inspiring about the dude. It sucked. I was paying attention from when the accident had happened. They made kind of a vague post, and then everybody was like, "Oh shit! Like what happened?"
Yeah.
And then almost like clockwork. It's like they feel like they're getting better, they're coming out of it, and then bam.
That was the last one I read, so I was expecting.
Well, I think you and I saw it the same way with Austin's post, where it was like
unconfirmed. Yeah.
Away. Like what the hell? Like last I heard, he was doing better.
Yeah.
So yeah, really crazy.
I hadn't heard from Austin in years.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, but yeah. Really, just a loss for the entire industry. And I think, but at the same time, he made such a mark and he opened the doors for so many great Cerakoters out there that are just, picking up the torch, including his own shop, obviously, that are, laying down some amazing work and will continue to do so. And I think,
he absolutely inspired countless shops to open, created a need in countless cities and regions and areas where people didn't even know what they were doing. I mean, I remember back when people were, hey, do you do that Cerakote or that Creocote? It's like, no, he's the one that
creosote.
Yeah, exactly. Pushed that through. And now Cerakote's a mainstay. Everybody knows who they are. Everybody knows what it is.
Yep.
And, and he's one of those people that's the reason why.
Yeah. No, it's a sad loss. And I just wanted to bring it up while we were, kind of
I'm glad you did. I was going to do the same.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'd say great minds think alike, but I know we don't have that.
Exactly.
We're all maybe stupid minds think alike as well. We're that too. And
simple-minded people think simple things.
Simple-minded. on another note, we had the NRA show in Texas. I noticed the Glock released a Generation 5 17L
Yeah.
They actually kept the 7. I thought it was going to disappear. I really
Yeah.
did. I see Paul in here. Paul, I'm going to butcher your last name. Dzidik.
I think it's Ziedzik.
You know what? That's probably, yeah, I'll go with that. And we got Steven. I'm going to ruin that one too.
Petrikowski.
Look at that. Got it.
I'm a linguist.
Yes. Polygonal. I got that one earlier. Okay. And I got to teach some of these Cajuns how to speak French. So
hey,
Brandon got it. Got it. All right. But they kept the 17L. I really thought that the 17L was gone. Say my name. I got a sticker for that. I may have even sent you one, Steven. I really didn't think they were going to keep the 17L. I thought that was done. There it is. Say my name. I keep them all.
Yeah, the 17L. I do want to point out, I think it's hilarious, right? Because
I need to see if which trigger it comes with. I'll bet I don't think it comes. I don't think it does. And there's a reason why. But go ahead.
So I still think it's interesting that the show, like the sample photo that they were using, like in the one that's on the website and stuff, that thing is still pig nosed as shit. Like
they want a true representation of what you're gonna get. Okay.
They just pulled off the line.
Yeah. You know what? Let it is what it is.
When are they going to figure out how to properly temp that portion so that it doesn't curl?
You know what? They got people for that. That's what the industry's for. Okay.
That's true.
That's what the industry's for. Because I'm going to build triggers. I'm going to build triggers for that. And then that brings me on to another one that released right before, not SHOT Show, but INRAM, is Shadow Systems finally realized that the CR920 needed to be the X module. So they came out with the CR920X, which thank you, Shadow. Thank you, Shadow. I will be building plenty of triggers for those too, because they are garbage out of the box. That is literally the worst out of the box Glock based or Glock style trigger that I have ever felt was in a CR920.
I know it's crazy. The dagger's better.
The micro dagger is worlds better. And when you look at it's so funny because I have both trigger packs, and to get around, patents and that sort of thing, they went with a hybrid style trigger system, which is what PSA did as well for the micro dagger. Mm-hmm. And the PSA version utilizes very similar parts, and it's so much better. It blows me away. And I've looked, it has to do with geometry and the way they built their trigger bar. So thank you, Shadow. It's a beautiful looking gun. I will make sure to give it a worthy trigger with a copper safety, because copper is the new gold. P80 frame. I hadn't seen that. I hadn't seen that. Did they finally bring out their polymer 80? A chassis? I know they were talking about a chassis.
Really?
Yeah. I know they were talking about a steel chassis, which people were having trouble drilling through polymer as it was. So steel is just gonna. Woo.
You're gonna have to get a real drill press now.
Yeah. Well, even with drill presses, they were running into trouble. Yes, dagger slide and frame and pontoon trigger way better than a Shadow. It is true. I had one of the Shadows in here, and the CR920s doing some trigger development, and I really wanted to keep it. I liked the way it looked, but I just couldn't justify it. It was like, it's really nice. I love the barrel, the bronze on the barrel. Copper was really, really nice. Frame was decent, but it was just a 43. And I did let it go. And then when the micro dagger came out, for the price and what I can build, and if you've seen any of my picture, I'm not going to show it here on stream because they will cut the stream if I even breathe on a gun on stream.
Don't cut it.
We've been there. That micro dagger is worlds above that Shadow at this point. SCT's nice.
Yeah, the
SCT
Spectre.
is Spectre.
Polymer
They
80
renamed
Spectre.
it what it used to be.
Yeah,
Let me see.
they call it a Spectre 2.
Yeah, because that Spectre was the original name.
Yeah.
Don't look at my thing. This is an old Spectre that I stippled because I thought I was cool back in the day. Let's see.
Jesus.
It's bad. Well, it's got a bunch of cobwebs and shit on it, but it wasn't
Gotcha.
terrible. It wasn't. I mean, it's terrible, but it's one of the old Spectres with the polymer rails that I screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice.
don't cut our stream, YouTube. If not, Rumble, we're still here.
That's right.
RMR battery died in your 17. Oh, okay. Okay. I thought the battery died in your 17 and we had like some Tesla stuff going on. Oh,
Battery
SCT
backup.
frame. Yeah, I have an SCT frame as well, Paul. That's an awesome frame too. Between the dagger, it really depends when you want to talk about which is a better frame. Depends on your hand and the looks. I love the SCT frame. It's a little bit I guess you could call it clunkier in some ways, whereas the micro dagger is a little bit more ergonomic, but I like them both. I love the SCT frames. They remind me a lot of what Shadow tried to do, and then, or not Shadow, but Strike.
Yeah,
Strike did. Yeah.
Yep.
So I actually, I'm so far behind on videos. It's not even funny. I have a couple videos. One of them is an update on the SCT 43 frame. Good, all good. Just one that I had built, and then a micro dagger, the one that Josh finished up. So
nice.
Amongst other videos I got, and obviously I copy videos, I was told today.
Yeah. Yeah, that was hilarious.
that was a fun little post, but
God. Yeah. Oh, you don't do trigger videos. You apparently trigger other people.
I guess so.
In videos.
Triggered. Well, I have a sticker for that. Let's see here.
You're just gonna have stickers for
everything. I got stickers. I mean, I got the Trigger Troll sticker. Maybe I don't have one here. I got one. I just don't have it here. I probably gave it away because I go through stickers like like people would. Oh, there's a Trigger Troll, and that's one of my favorites there.
That's a good one.
It's the Better Call Saul one.
Yeah.
Let me trigger you. So I go through so many stickers. Not Instagram. It was a Facebook thing, but it actually all went. I thought it was going to go south. I put my little two cents in, and so did a bunch of other people that I built triggers for. So,
well, I mean, like I said in the post, and I'll say it here publicly, it's just what you're doing right now is exceptional work. Like you've been earning this reputation for years, and it's nice to see that people are actually willing to go out there like that. I feel like that's the level that you get to when all cylinders have been pumping for a little while. You got it finally tuned.
Yeah.
That it was good.
It was, and I think you hit it on the nail there. After years of being the nobody who dared to get into an industry that had chosen, people, if you will, and companies, I've been beat on a lot. So I expected, I kind of expected the normal, and I put my little 2 cents in, not to degrade anybody or just to, just one, I let it known that I'm around. If you have any questions, you're more than willing to, I'm more than willing to answer anything. Yeah. And I mentioned this show. You want to come in live, so I don't have a made up excuse or made up, copy and paste answer. Throw it on the live stream. You guys have seen me stumble many times here on these live streams.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference between wanting to, answer something and being able to answer it on the fly, without any sort of warning or anything like that. Like getting
Yeah.
put on the spot is you either have it or you don't. I mean, and I mean, you've been put on the spot so often that it's hard to,
Yeah, and I have, but at the same time, I try to, I just try one. I try to be me. I make mistakes, and I also just try to help. I try to help everybody out that I can.
Yeah.
I've told many people, it. I've had people come to me, and this isn't to toot my own horn or anything, but I've had people actually come to me and ask me, whether something about trigger or what trigger system they need, and I've actually asked them what they had, so and actually diagnosed problems, and got them running with trigger systems that they already had. Didn't sell a thing.
Yeah.
And it was usually just a small troubleshooting issue, and didn't have to sell anything to them, and they were good to go. Maybe they mentioned me to somebody else or whatever, but that I find in the end, instead of just being a salesman, pays off more than just be that one single sale. And then let's say I sell them a trigger, and because I didn't go through that troubleshooting ahead of time, they get my trigger and it does the exact same thing. And now I'm this terrible person that just sold them a trigger instead of
Well,
going through the motions and help and actually helping them out.
100%. I agree wholeheartedly. And I think that there's a lot of people out there that want to make a sale, but they don't want to, they don't care whether they get the repeat business or not. Like you and I, we dedicated a long time ago to doing this for a living, like permanently.
Yeah.
My dad, God bless him, he's like, yeah, you can, there's lots of things that you can do, like there's something to fall back on. It's like, no, and it just goes towards like the name of this show is called Work Harder, right? Like
Yes.
It's all about working harder. Like we don't talk, we do shit. And that's important. Like the actual doing of it is what matters. And being out there, I'd rather be a subject matter expert on a particular topic than be popular.
Yeah. And I think what's really funny is how much that I have learned that I didn't know when I started out. I knew a good amount because I dug deep into what made things work. But I learned so much more along the way of little things that either I didn't think to interject into the system or accidentally get interjected into the system. And it just pushed me to really learn things that I never thought I would have to learn by just following what people have told me and listening to what their issues are. And I found people make mistakes. It's a normal part of the thing. But instead of just telling them they screwed up and that I've a lot of companies don't go through the trouble because maybe they're big enough and they've got customer support that doesn't actually know, or they don't spend the time to go through the extra steps to troubleshoot something that may not have anything to do with their system or their product that's causing it to fail. So I've learned a lot about the entire system, the whole deal, that I didn't think, either I didn't know before or didn't think I needed to get into, just to help somebody troubleshoot something that really didn't even have to do with me per se.
No doubt. Yeah. I mean, and I think that it just speaks to the level of commitment, that like, I'd rather be a good guy than be a good salesman. Like, I think that if you go with that thought process, I don't think you can really steer wrong. It might take you a little bit longer to reach the height, but I think it's more sustainable once you get there if you're that way. And I think that's the way to go.
Sustainable is really what it's about. It's kind of like they talk about you can be a great salesman and you can make a lot of money as a great salesman, but unless you build something, it's always predicated. Your success is always predicated on that next sale, your continued living. Now, if you build something that is sustainable, it keeps building without you. It you build a team, or you build that, which I need to really need to do eventually to get bigger. Well, you grew yours. Okay. I didn't grow any.
I'm just organically.
I'm messing with you. Mine keep fighting. My little team keeps fighting. So, oh man, that was a fun part of today. So, anyways, that was a refreshing post that I honestly thought would go kind of sideways, and it was kind of neat to see after a lot of hard work.
Well, there's always that cronyism, or that, clan type culture where everybody is just kind of off on their own, and with unfortunately the algorithms and the way social media works, I feel like we're more tunneled than we've ever been.
Yes.
And people, it's funny, people don't even believe you when you say, like, I've had both of these and one's better than the other. They're like, no, you haven't.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, I have. It's like, people don't understand. Like, man, I owned a custom Cerakote shop for like a long time. Had a lot of guns come through the shop, all custom, all had different stuff. I saw triggers from pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is not a fact.
True. And like you said, cronyism and people.
That's the word I get for, cronyism.
You did actually say it. That's why I repeat. Yeah, I repeated it. I repeated it because I'm a copier. So I get that, and that's one thing. My goal is to not create like an echo chamber when I don't want to do that. I want people to have their opinions. And I actually got asked if that post needed to be removed. And I said, no, I would prefer not because it went my way, not because it went my way, but just because people can say, I want people to have differing opinions.
Absolutely.
And if I've messed up and screwed somebody over, whether I did it on purpose, which I definitely try not to, or I, maybe I upset somebody, which I did recently upset it's been a month or so ago when they had the different logo on their trigger. And I hadn't updated the website. Instead of the Boogeyman logo, it had my logo, and they lost their mind on me. Then I tried to fix that, and he blew it up online. But I make mistakes. It does happen, and I do my best to mitigate that to the best of my abilities. And I don't know how many times, if you ask me a question, send me an email, ask me a question on social media, send me a PM or something. I really do try to work with everybody as best as I possibly can. There's only so much.
It's tough when, on top of the fact that, some people just don't want to hear that you have an answer or you have a solution to the problem. There are those people. But then in addition to that, there's context missing in a lot of the conversation. Some things are taken the wrong way. There's a whole host of issues where, if people really saw, like, I continually try to say this on social media, if people saw what's in, like, your heart, my heart, pretty much every small business across the board, there aren't a whole lot of people who are like, I really don't give a shit if I fuck this customer over or not. I just want their money.
Yeah.
And I try to remember that across the board. Like, even, I'm, fast food joints, people don't put something in. It's like, even something as simple as that. It's like, all right, well, they probably thought that it was in there, or they made an easy mistake, or maybe they just don't care about their job, or maybe they're not being motivated, or whatever. There's a whole, but I think we need to get back to a time where people didn't think that people were as shitty as sometimes even that they are, you know?
Having pride in yourself before anything, I find, and maybe I'm not the best to talk about this, but having pride in yourself and what you do radiates in other parts of your life where you can either understand why maybe somebody doesn't, take pride in what they do or makes a mistake. And you can forgive that, but you can also get a chance where you hold other people accountable to a certain point.
Yep. I always give people
I find
give people an option to make to correct their mistake. And when they don't, then there's an issue.
I can understand that. Yeah.
It's like, okay, there was a problem. Like, okay, I've been really focused on everything that we've been having going in the shop. I was talking to you about this before the pod. I've been eating like absolute dog shit lately. And it's like,
I got you.
most recently, I had Taco Bell. My kids love Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. It's delicious. I don't care what anybody says. Fight me. So I ordered some Taco Bell, and I had this. We had this big order. I have 4 kids. For those who don't know, we get 6 different meals and all this other shit. And
everybody can pick and choose from different.
Right. And so I order on the app. Right. So that I make sure everybody gets what they need. I double, triple check it because I'm OCD like that. Submit the order. I go through the drive-through to go pick it up. They ask me to confirm it that it's okay. I say yes. Then when I get to the drive-through pickup window, they say, all right, here's this, here's this, here's this. And I'm like, cool. So everything is in there, right? And they say, yep. This guy, this in particular, he goes, I made this all myself. I put all of this in the bag. I know it's there. And I said, okay, great. So I didn't even look. Typically I look.
Yeah.
Right. And I double checked. This time I didn't.
Was it there?
We don't live that far. There was more missing than there normally is.
Oh, no. Oh, no. He literally, oh, shit. I thought this was going to be a good thing.
No.
Oh,
we were missing, we were missing one person's entire meal and then parts of 2 other people's meals. And so I drove back and I mean, luckily we live in a college town. We're in a rural area, but we live in a college town. So we're only like 5 minutes away. Yeah. So I drive back up there, inconvenience myself, drive back up there, go and instead of going through the drive-through again, pull up, walk in.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm missing this stuff, And he's like, no, it was in there. Oh, no, it wasn't.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you, it wasn't. I'm like, why? Listen, I'm not a person that like, I didn't buy a bunch of stuff on my like rewards program. Like I just spent $50 at Taco Bell. Like
you got off cheap.
Yeah. Luckily my kids like the boxes that are $5 or whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
We just get them theirs and then my wife and I get ours, whatever. So anyways, I'm like, listen, I just spent $50 on Taco Bell. Like the last thing I want to do, it's not like I need more food.
Yeah.
I just want what I ordered.
Yeah. Or a refund, maybe if you can't give me the food, come on.
Yeah. It's a really simple thing. Like, okay, I gave him an opportunity. Hey, I'm missing this stuff. Well, no, you're not. Okay, well, now we have a problem. Because, hey, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't have driven all the way back up here.
So he oh, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Fought you over it. That's crazy.
Right. Oh, over like the equivalent of like $8 of food.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cost-wise, okay, maybe it might be $1.50.
Well, I mean, that's his hourly wage. So, I mean, come on. I don't know what it is now. I honestly, I remember.
I feel like if they go down to an hour, if we went to an hourly rate and they went to an hourly rate, they'd probably make more than we do.
Some days, especially. Some days, I remember my first job away from working for my father. It was $6.50 an hour. Slinging auto parts. So
$6.50. I think my first gig, I made $5.15.
Oh shit!
Dishwasher.
Oh, well, I was slinging auto parts, and they gave me a whole 25 cents when I became night manager.
Nice. That's where your obsession became with Batman.
Pretty much, I think so.
You were the night manager.
I was the night manager.
You were Batman. Dark Knight.
We screwed up a lot of stuff in that store. $3.18 an hour. Jeez, $3.18 an hour, Stewart over here. Which I'm wearing my Peacemaker shirt. I need to get. I'm gonna order a couple more of these. This is like, I actually pulled this shirt out of the dirty clothes so I could wear it on the stream. I wear this shirt all over the place. So
I'm wearing my salute to Shane Quintero.
oh shit! I don't have a. Oh, okay. Yeah, Captain America. I thought maybe it was an actual Quintero custom shirt. I was gonna say,
no, dude, if they made those, I'd get them.
Oh man, I was gonna say I would wear one of those all over the place as well.
Yeah,
I'd love to see him come back. Love to see him come back.
Yeah, if he eventually sees this, Shane, we need you.
Got to shame him. Shame Shane. No, he's making that oil field money. He's got a family now, so
it's true.
Got to get him a laser.
Gotta get him.
Get him a laser. Get him a laser. Teach him how to burn some stuff. I saw that shipped out the Peacemaker and Leonidas T. Awesome. That guy. I have. He has ordered a bunch of triggers. And
who the hell is Senpai? Senpai noticed you.
Senpai? I think that sounds like some sort of anime thing. I don't know. It
does sound like that.
You're gonna have to look it up. You have to use your
shit. No, I'm not putting anime on my search history.
That's probably for the best.
Go sideways so fast.
Yeah. I'd probably stay away from that too. Maybe I'm sure our Embalm, our friend here, will probably. Oh, you gave him some good. Send him some stick. He's a good dude. He's
Louis
ordered Louis Vuitton. Come on, I can see that.
Yeah, maybe we'll make some belts.
I was gonna say, remember when all that was the rage, the actual Gucci and Louis Vuitton shit on Glocks for a couple years ago.
Yeah,
I refused to do any of those. I didn't do any of those. So
me neither. I did them. I did them for customers.
Oh yeah. You got to do it for customers, but
yeah,
I didn't do any for customers.
I did my share of Punisher skulls and stuff too.
Hey, we all did the Punisher skulls for people. May or may not have a lot of that stuff. See, hey, that's all right. That's all right.
No judging. Not in public anyway.
Yeah, not in public. Hey, speaking of judging, why don't we do this? I have an O-Sight coming.
Oh my God, really?
I actually saw a pre-production like a little bit before they came out. One of my customers works for O-Light and he had some work in on that thing. I have one coming. I'm gonna check it out. Just because I have low standards, as we all know. I want to take a look at it. It's rechargeable. Which
I saw it with the cover.
I think if somebody had like a little range toy competition gun, something like that, I think that makes it a little easier. Is it a Trigicon? Obviously not.
I want to see somebody make a bedside holster for it, where the gun slides into the holster and then the cover, it just goes right in like a charging station. Yeah, that's what I want to see now.
I could see something like if anybody's going to do it, it'd probably be O-Light. They've thrown a lot in the recharging ring. So
yeah,
Hollison.
The NV, the DRS. You're talking about the thermal, not the night vision, right? Isn't it thermal? It's got an overlay or something, right? Thermal?
I don't know.
I think the DRS is thermal.
Okay. All I really saw for NRAM was like that got me was the CR920X and the G17L, and then I really haven't paid attention to a lot of it.
Yeah, what's funny is Canic, because that's our kind of realm or whatever for now.
Yeah,
Canic, they were on the Classic Firearms podcast about a month ago and teased something coming for NRA, but it didn't show up.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't show up. They haven't done anything yet. I mean,
maybe they need to come out with something other than the MC9. I feel like I mean,
It's
I
gotten shit
see.
on.
I see a lot of not good stuff on the MC9.
Yeah.
But
Well,
like I said,
people keep asking us for parts and stuff. So there's a couple of problems that I have with it, right? Because one, they came out with an MC9 threaded barrel,
it's
and
night
it
vision.
has
DRS NV. That's what Will says.
okay, DRS NV. All right, sounds good. I think there's actually a thermal overlay on the NV2, which is kind of neat. Anyway, dude, Stuart's got it right. An O sight on your high point. I have a yeet cannon. I'm totally doing that.
You got an OG crazy yeet cannon there.
I do. Mine's got a lot of custom work done. I might do that.
I mean, it's got the same pattern he's been using for years. So I've seen some of his later work. Yeah. It looks all the vagina lips are still the same. Okay, they're still the same. Just saying. Anyway, sorry. And don't do it, James. Don't go there. Okay, I have a yeet cannon as well. So maybe I'll get it milled for.
Do you have any idea how many people have messaged me about that yet from the group?
Really?
They want that fucker back so bad.
Tell them you sold it to me.
They want that fucker back in the group so badly. It's so funny.
Tell them you sold it to James.
I actually had a guy from the group offer me, and I was thinking about taking it just because.
Yeah,
it was such a good deal. It was so he wanted it was a Glock mag, Keltec, the foldable like 2000.
Okay.
Plus it was a 22 pistol of some kind.
Okay.
And I was thinking just for my kids and stuff, it was a good setup because I have one 22 pistol for my kids, and then the rest of them are 9 because I've graduated pretty quickly. Yeah, I thought about, and then I was like, I don't know.
It's too good to hold on to.
I might put the DRS NV on it because it's actually milled for a pick rail.
Oh, is okay? Yeah, it was. Man, that thing was crazy. That thing was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Man, you should do it. But again,
I traded for that gun for a Samsung smartwatch.
Wow, which is way out of date at this point.
Yeah, but the high point lives forever.
Yes, and you've got my Nomad that he did or had.
No, it got destroyed. Remember?
Oh,
we sent it to Shane, or we sent it to Sloan.
Oh, okay.
And Sloan said it was so bad he destroyed it, and then he contacted Nomad. They sent him a new frame.
Nomad's cool
because it was so destroyed. It was so bad.
I put it together once. Like I said, it was near the end of my time, and I put it together once. I was pretty disappointed with it, and then we traded something along the lines because I just wanted to get it out of my shop. I didn't look at it real close. So
it was brutalized, and I had you send it to Sloan because I'm like, dude, there's no way.
That's what it was. Okay,
so I had you send it to Sloan directly, and then when Sloan got it, he was like, yeah, there's poking through on the frame, and there's all kinds of stuff that's just really bad as far as the structural integrity goes. So he contacted Nomad, and they gave him a new one, and he sent it in and got it destroyed because it's that bad.
Wow. Nomad's cool. I'm in contact with Nomad all the time. They're a small company, so I'm sure they took care of him. So
nice,
good company. I would love to see them expand their frames just a little bit.
Yeah.
They've got the 19X they've been doing. They went all over to the Gen 5 stuff, which makes sense. They've got their 19X. They talked about doing a G26X. I was like, come on. I think if somebody released a G26X, there would be a demand for it. Probably not, but I'm one of those guys.
If you think about it, right? That's the only frame that you cannot buy from the factory. So even if somebody wanted it,
yeah,
they can't find it anywhere. You have to spend a bunch of money to go get it. If
Mhm.
somebody were to offer it in the market at even a remotely decent price, people would
Yeah.
be able to try it. And if they didn't like it, they could sell it.
I will say this. On the micro dagger, there's a company called Excessive Arms that makes a +5 extension for the PSA dagger or micro dagger mags, which I really think is a heck of a deal, because the mag itself is overall a pretty good design. It does have some flex, which their little plastic base plate does have some flex to it. But with that Excessive Arms +5, or they make a +2 as well, you're looking at 21 with one in the chamber, 21 rounds in a G43X.
Yeah.
I've got that one that Josh did for me. And I put that Excessive Arms mag extension on it. And I'm like, that's 21 rounds in a slimline.
Yeah. It's hard to beat. I mean, you used to have to go with a full-size pistol to get that. That's just crazy. And here's Will saying he wants a 17L with a 26 grip. At some point in time, it just turns into a hammer.
Yeah, I did a 26, what they called the 26L, which was the 19 slide on 26. Yeah. I just didn't. For me, and even with my medium-sized little girl hands, it just was unbalanced. You throw a mag extension on it, well, you might as well run a 19. But hey, a gun is a tool. There we go. Roos has the what is that? The 26XXXL, the one that's got the 17L slide on
that's the LOL, the 26 LOL.
26 LOL. That's the one.
The XXX is one that's got the super long grip with a 26 slide.
That's what it is. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there he is. He's like, Battlecock would do something like that.
He
Yes,
did. He did. I mean, I have my Boomerang 17L with the mag extension from the what's that company that they built those really funky looking you see them in all the sci-fi movies there for a while. Shit. Anyways, they make a 50 round stick magazine for 9mm now.
Oh,
and
X
so
products?
No, they made a gun. They actually made a gun, and then they did 40. It was chambered in 45, and it reused Glock 45 magazines, and they built a stick mag.
Oh,
and then they did 9mm. Chris Vector, yeah. They do a 9mm version.
Yeah,
so I have that on a set. Chris, yep, 17. I have a 17L with a comp with that 50, and it's I call it the Boomerang 17L because it's literally. So now we have the 17L in Gen 5. So I gotta say this. I will say this about Gen 5, and I fought it for the longest of time. But I think the Gen 5 trigger system is superior than the Gen 3. After playing with it for years now, I feel like a good tuned Gen 5 trigger system, which can be adapted to a Generation 3, is a superior setup. You heard it here. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably copying somebody else.
Yeah, I was going to say, Johnny said this earlier.
I don't know what you're talking about. That had nothing to do with any conversation. What are you talking about? That's going to get back to somebody somewhere.
By the way, so today.
Yes, we were talking about that, and I forgot why we stopped talking about that. We went on our caffeine. Tell me about it.
It's actually a hard cider.
Okay.
So, but it's a company out of Michigan. I think they're out of Michigan.
Well, you better know before you go make it a commercial for them.
Homer, Michigan, which is down south.
Okay.
Southern part of the state. So, do you remember the old high C ecto coolers when we were younger?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
So this is an ecto cooler cider.
You keep doing that. You don't have autofocus on, bro. You got to put it next to your face, and then hit focus, and it'll zoom in on it. like that. See, look at that beautiful beard and ugly teeth. See that? There you go. Boom. Ecto cider.
Yep.
There we go. I'm teaching him.
Anyway.
OBCD. Is that what Will was asking?
OBC. So it's Odd Brothers Craft Cider.
There we go.
That's what the OBC stands for.
What about the D? You got the D in it?
No D in this. Yeah.
Well,
this is D free.
No D. Well, unless you hold it, then you got all the D. Beard. Okay. It's not quite a beard. It's a goatee. I'm sorry. Stuart's calling me out. Stuart, he truly has the beard. I have the.
This is the beard.
Yeah, I've got a goatee. I'm sorry. And I'm bald. So there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's really why we're all here. Okay. So big updates. Normally I have updates to what I've got going on, but we've got one here from Brandon that's going to lead into something that's coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow
on Facebook.
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna try and do a live with Instagram too, kind of at simulcast thing. I think it does it on both at the same time.
Okay.
Long story short, like we've been and kind of in general through the podcast, what's been going on is, you've been having all this stuff you've been able to talk about. I haven't had a whole lot of stuff to talk about because we've been kind of working in the background, getting stuff together. Yes. Well, tomorrow night, we're doing a live on the Disruptive Defense Facebook channel or Instagram stuff. And we're going to go through, give people updates, tell people where we're at, what's going on, something that's coming in the future, in the near future, and give everybody something to be excited about. This one is still specifically for the Canic community, but I'm also going to talk a little bit about things that are outside the Canic community as well.
Yes.
So it's going to be exciting.
And that's what time on Facebook?
9. We're going to do it later. So it's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern. 9
p.m. Eastern, which is 8 p.m. Central Time, right? Yep. Or am I backwards? I always get that.
Good.
Okay.
You're good. 8 p.m. Central. So
8 p.m. Central. And then for those of you on the other coast, it's
6.
Opposite. Yeah.
6 p.m.
Yes. Yeah, you're way on the not Canic. It is Canic. And I mean, there's other stuff coming. There's definitely other stuff coming. But Disruptive Defense has the optic plate with stuff. And obviously the comps that people want. So
well, it's exciting. And there's more coming. Yeah, I mean, we've been it's hard to explain to people when you're going through the process of developing and testing and fine-tuning processes and stuff to get things moving forward. Us being as small as we are at this point, everything is close to the chest. We can get kind of our entire idea and design can get swept off of its feet by someone else, and they can go to market sometimes faster than we can. Mm-hmm. And so we have to keep those things close to the chest. And now it's time for that. Now we believe that everything is going down, everything is moving forward. There's not really anybody who can pick the ball up and move faster than we can at this point because everything's already moving forward.
You're already running. You're already running for that touchdown. So
yeah. So and there's so much going on, and it's been a long time since we've been able to update everybody and let everybody know. I like to kind of lay it out as where we're at and where we're going. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot to discuss, a lot to look forward to. And it's going to be exciting. So I don't plan on being on there for too long, but I did say, and I'll say this.
Yeah, but that's what you told your wife too. Now you have 4 kids.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. We've been together for 25 years now.
Tell her I'm sorry if she sees this. I'm sure.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for her every day.
Yeah,
She's with me.
yeah. Like, it's just James. It's just James. He's got stickers of himself. But no, 9 p.m. on Facebook, because like you said, it's a lot of stuff's been happening behind the scenes. And I know when I invited you to join in with me on these Sundays, I've had a lot of different things come and go, and you've had a lot going on, but we couldn't really talk about it. And now, Monday, we've got some stuff to talk about. I will be watching. I'm not invited on because I don't blame you.
Well, we'll talk for an hour about nothing.
Yeah. So let's.
I'll get off topic real quick, but
yeah. No, this is going to be on you, and it's awesome. Like I'm so excited to finally see things that have been put into work come together.
Yeah.
So
and we're going to do a Q&A too. So I mean, kind of like how we do here, where as long as people continue to get themselves involved in the process of asking questions, I'll stay on as long as I need to. I'm just going to be on there just chilling, having a good time, getting up to speed with everybody and letting them know what we've been up to. It's exciting.
Yeah. Awesome on that. And that's tomorrow. So if you don't have anything going on, and if you own a Canic and want to upgrade it, that's the place to be, because this has been a long time coming. 73 hours later.
Yeah.
So good. I'll tune in. I'll check it out, but I'm not gonna bother you because you got important stuff to do.
I do.
What else? Do we have anything else before we call it an evening? We talked about the 17L, which everybody is excited about, another Generation 5 Glock. I didn't really see anything else that I was too terribly, like I said, I missed a lot of it. I knew about the whole O sight. I want one just to put on something. I used to have quite a few of the little O lights running around. I have one of their newer ones, and I gotta say they've gotten better. I'm not saying that they're military grade. I'm not saying that you're gonna put your life on one of these. Maybe I might put one on like a shotgun or something. But they do innovate, and I will give them that. They've had some interesting stuff. Depends on.
I've been saying this for a little while. You need companies, okay, like Olight, like Keltec, like Chris USA, or others, to do crazy shit, because at some point in time it works.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like there's always been in any industry those innovators who are willing to just throw a bunch of shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like Olight is that. And I mean, I'm not saying like, I'm not one of those typical Olight haters.
Yeah.
People do what they want with their money, and that's their choice.
True.
I'll say this just to put it out there publicly. If somebody asks me what to get for a pistol that holds a Streamlight TLR1, I tell them to get a TLR1, because right now Olight used to be a sub $100.
They have gone up considerably in price.
Now an Olight is about the same price, and sometimes when the Streamlights are on sale, they're more expensive.
Yeah.
And I cannot justify that move.
Now, the thing about it, I mean, Streamlights are all made in China for the most part as well. I think almost. Sure. But they have, they have standards they hold it to. But like you said, it's the innovation part. Will they make that hurdle where because when they came around originally, they spent a lot of money getting on the YouTube train of paid advertisements, basically, which were advertisements, and they got their name out there really, really quick. Everybody bought some, and then there were a lot of issues, a good amount of issues. And so they really sullied their name, and everybody realized that there was a lot of pay for play on their behalf. So you see a lot less of those YouTube channels, promoting it than you did originally.
Yeah.
We will see. Maybe they'll be the next Hollison, because there was a time when Hollison and Sightmark were on the same level.
Yeah.
And they're not anymore. Sightmark's still with Viridian, or wherever you want to call it. And Hollison's really, they innovated. They've got some products that they're awesome. I like any of the latest Hollison red dots or green dots that I have. Pretty stout.
Yeah, I still believe. I believe that the 508T is better than the RMR. People are going to shit on it all day. I think the 508T is better than the RMR. I think that the 509T is better than any full-size enclosed dot on the planet for a pistol, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, an aimpoint T1, aimpoint T2, I get it.
Yeah.
I'll say, in addition to that, I'll say that the Holosun 530 GT, I think, is just as good. And I know that that's cliche now, but I think it's just as good as an aimpoint T1 or a T2. I really do. I believe that wholeheartedly.
The one thing I know for sure is 40 Smith & Wesson is the greatest caliber of all time. The 40 Slow and Weak is the pinnacle of. No, there's so much good stuff out there, and there's a lot of really bad stuff, and then there's the in between. We get so excited about different things. It's kind of cool to see some innovation. I like playing with all of the neat little toys, and I break stuff. Most of my fleet is broken currently.
Steven says the 509T has too much parallax and magnification. Are you talking about the V1? Because to me, the V1 was hot garbage. The V1 had parallax, and there was a weird magnification because the curvature of the glass. I get all that. The 509T X2 versions have been spectacular for me. If there's a parallax problem or an issue with a 509T X2, that might be a defect. 9x25 Dylan.
357 SIG, or the poor man's FN59, which is the 22 TCM9R. Now that is a fireball throwing, no recoil, can't find ammunition except for one time a year, but it's beautiful. It fits in a Glock magazine. All you have to do is replace a recoil spring and the barrel, and it'll shoot out of your 19 or your 17.
Right. It's like a 300 black for a pistol.
Pretty much. 22 TCM9. I've got one. It shoots fireballs. It has no recoil, and it sends them downrange at like 2,200 feet per second.
Oh yeah. It's fast as fuck, boy.
Pretty much worthless, but it's cool.
I remember, man. I had
not cool though. Wait, I'm not cool. Wait a minute.
I had a guy that was telling me, man, 22 TCM was the future.
Oh,
it's the future. Everybody's gonna, the governments and everybody, they're gonna adopt the 22 TCM. And I was like, there's no fucking chance of that happening. 45 gap, yeah. What's the Glock 45 gap? A 30? No, not a 30.
Yeah, it's 33. No,
30, it might 32.
2? No, 32 is 357 SIG. Oh, sorry.
I remember PSA had whatever that Glock was for 45 gap. I want to say it was like $220.
They made a conversion barrel for a very short period of time. I think you could run 37, and you could run. I think it was a 9mm, but nobody supports it, and it's not an easy one to convert over. 357. See, Will, we're practically best friends. We're practically best friends, even though,
357 SIG.
357 SIG. That I have a USP that is converted to 357 SIG that is very magazine specific because it was not meant to be in there. I've got my VP9 or VP40 VP 357 that's converted over multiple different Glocks. There's another one that I converted over to 357 SIG.
Do you have a SIG in 357 SIG?
No.
Well, that's bullshit. I feel like that would be natural.
No. I have one SIG. I have a 320, and I'm kind of ashamed of it. I have a prototype trigger for a 320 that I built and designed. Oh, I do. I didn't give you all of them. I had several made. I had several made.
You sent me one.
I did send you one. You have one. And I had several made, and the guy took a long time to do them, and then he disappeared. So they kind of got set aside, and I just didn't want to put my name on the 320. It just too many questions at this point.
At this point, I feel like they're probably already retooling it for another gun. They'll make another modular one, because they already won the M17 contract.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's like, all right, well, they're going to make a $1 billion on that deal, and now they're going to turn it into something else, that's probably not as good.
Well,
but it might be able to be dropped. Okay.
I think for the civilian market, the 320 kind of fell out of favor. You still see people buying and building 320s, but it was the 365.
Oh, huge.
That really seemed, but at the same time, when I look at the same in the Glock world, which is the 43X, 48, it took a little while for those to really get, kind of get their feet underneath them. 43 was great. But it really, the slimline market didn't really hit until the 365 came online.
Yeah,
and then
the 365 is a sweet carry pistol.
Yeah.
I don't own one, just to be clear, but they're awesome.
They feel really everyone that I've played
the module is awful.
Yeah.
It's so thin.
Everyone I've ever felt and even played with, it just always felt really cheap for me.
Yeah.
357 SIG shield and an MP5 and 357. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. That's a good way to spend a lot of money, especially per magazine. 357 snub nose. I'd be good for that. I've been thinking about doing a wheel gun. It's one of those things every once in a while I get an eye. I'm like, man.
Yep. Levers and wheels.
Gun. Yeah, those are fun.
Yep.
But I've got too many projects that are broken right now that I haven't touched. I was going to, if we didn't get the tornado and all the rain, this weekend, I was actually going to try to drag the Challenger down to the drag strip. And I went to go put the drag radials on this week, and I saw a bunch of grease underneath on the wheel hub on the back. I'm like, oh shit. And the axle's fine for the most part. It just, the boot split for some, it's not like I'm lowered or anything, but the boot split. So I got to change the axle out.
You got a lot of potholes?
It is Louisiana, but I don't drive it enough at this point. But
did you take it off-roading in the swampland?
No. I don't know why. Honestly, I'm not really sure. But I guess it is normal on like the Hellcats and stuff for them to leak, but this is an actual crack in the boot itself. So I'm going to swap the axle out, and then I'll rebuild that axle and put a new boot on it and have it as a spare. So I've got that down. Obviously, I'm still working on the black one. I haven't touched it since I got back from vacation. So I moved it out of the way. I did a bunch of oil changes, and then I have to, the green one is basically drivable, but I want to get it up on the rack and go over it since it's been, 600 or 700 miles since I put it together, and it could be falling apart. I want to make sure. Yeah. I want to make sure it doesn't fall apart while I'm driving. So that's a thing.
Hilarious.
But well, we'll call that Work Harder Weekly number 10, and we will be back next week. I don't see anything on my current schedule that'll throw that off, unless I have to go to Alabama. I may something we talked about earlier. So I'll let you know partway through the week, early,
Okay.
and but we should be back next week. I don't know. We'll see.
That's
see how
Memorial weekend.
Is it? Oh goodness.
Memorial Day's Monday. So, but it is Memorial.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we'll see. We should be here.
Yep.
I always forget about holidays. I always forget about holidays these days.
Oh, it's not like we get a day off.
No, it's the same. It's the same days. The worst part is what we run into is, for me, is the post office is closed. I'll get there and the post office
Always.
is closed. It's like, I'm trying to get stuff done. But anyways,
always.
If he's going to Alabama, he's getting a banjo, maybe some boiled peanuts, which is gross, by the way.
Ew.
Going to no, I
he looks like an Amon Amarth fan. He does. That's a great reference right there.
That is.
I mean, he should know, a Nordic Nevadan. I mean, are you an Amon Amarth fan, Stuart? It seems like you would be.
I mean, if he brought it up, he probably is.
I mean, they're like a Viking metal band.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would think with the Nordic.
He sent me. You need to. You need to get some of his stickers. You guys need to hook up, get some stick. Well, not like hook up, but like
slide in.
Yeah. No. Stuart, I'm gonna get with you. I need to buy some shirts, and I'm going to buy some extra ones for Brandon because he needs a Peacemaker shirt. He'd look awesome in a Peacemaker shirt. So
yeah,
we gotta do that.
Right.
Okay, well, let's get off here and let's get off the stream. Anyways. And we'll be back next week unless something changes.
There was context.
And everybody join Brandon where he will actually talk about real things tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern. Stream for stream. Don't cross the streams.
No, you have to cross the streams. Ghostbusters.
We're going to end the stream. All right, guys. Later.
All right. See ya.